And to be dead set on like one, and to think that you have the hubris to like be like, it's right. I just know it's right in my heart. Like that takes a lot of
delusion.
Yeah, hubris, delusion.
Yeah, or just
they're indoctrinated, man.
Yeah, you can't move past like what history and what. But
I want to know like about that. Like why do people, you know what I mean? They just hold on. They adhere. I was writing in. I have a journal that I keep that my girl made for me, and I've been using it as kind of like, let me write down random ideas, but also like jokes and like flesh out like jokes. Like maybe one day I'll bring it to like open mic, and just read from it and just see what sticks, what doesn't, type scenario. Because I would like to do stand up or try to do stand up at some point.
Let's do it together.
I would be down, bro.
Yeah, I would love to go to an open mic just to try it. I don't know if I want to be a comedian per se.
Yeah, but I
just want to get what I write out there and see if it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Comedy form, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
When people ask me, what do you want to write? Anything. Like, I have ideas for anything. I have ideas for writing music. I would never sing or rap. I would never do that. But I would love to write for somebody.
For someone, to do it?
Yeah.
Word.
Or definitely movies, for sure. That's like, but the ultimate dream is it would be like an anime. That's like old. That's like life is perfect.
Yeah.
For me.
That's your long term.
Like
everything works out. Now I can do whatever I want to creatively do.
Dude, like,
boom.
Imagine, like, I love anime. I love anime for the reason that they're so long, so you get it.
Yeah.
It's the best form to get to know any character out of any movie form. Like, the next thing will be like a series, but even that is short compared to like a long ass anime.
Well, anime, you got the arcs. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole character arc development.
You got the switch of age. You can see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that in real life, bro. Yeah. Like, we can't follow a character all the way from he's 15 to he's 30. Like,
and with movies, it's tough too, because it's like you got to squeeze it all into one, little quick block.
Yeah,
a TV show or anime. You're right though. Like, they can just stretch it out.
Yeah, you could kill off people, bring them back. Like, you could. There's so much freedom in writing animated series. So that'd be like the ultimate. That's like life went perfect, and of course you have to be successful, right? I'm not just saying, because anybody could just say I wrote an anime, but what happened to it? Did people see it? So my goal is to be able to like actually write an anime that actually hits.
Yeah,
I don't care if it hits in the level of like the big animes, but to me that would be like the ultimate.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, my goal is a cartoon. I think I've mentioned to you in person before. I want to do like a cartoon with all the ideas and characters that me and my bro make up and whatnot. I think that's my ultimate long term. Like, everything works out as well. It's like a cartoon, and like for your anime idea and being a writer, right? Have you ever thought about like using your voice to voice any of the?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I just don't think I have my voice is very set. I can't go high pitch.
Yeah,
my voice
but your voice is like very distinct though. So like you could just do your, like Seth Rogen,
Oh yeah, if I could just do my voice, I guess. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I would love to be able to do it, but I don't have the talent of like changing my voice. Like, I see people, like my wife could do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think my wife could be a voice actor, because she just changes her voice. One of the guys from the podcast that we're recording, I tell him all the time, you sound like fucking Megatron, and that's his normal voice.
Yeah.
I'm like you could like, if you like were the voice actor of something, I would listen to it, because his voice is just like, and it's natural. Like, he's just talking in this, like Vin Diesel. It's just like.
I think you should think about that in the future, man. Definitely. I know I want to try it for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Anything in that aspect, to me, it's creatively, movies, voice acting.
Yeah.
I would do any of it. I don't know about like. I would love. Will you try acting? I would like to try acting. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, those guys that I met, 5 Street Productions. I would love to do like skits, things like that, like funny comedy skits and whatnot. I think it would be fun. I think I could do like a serious role too. I feel like I could do it. I want to try
it. Yeah. That'll probably be more of my suit. Anything serious, I could play serious. It's funny. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think serious is easier to play.
You think it's easier to play? Yeah.
Yeah, for me, because I think funny, you can't fake that. At least you can't fake laughing. You can't fake like funny to me. That's why I think like there's a lot of good comedy movies like there were before.
Dude, everything. This is something that I've been talking a lot about on my podcast. Everything lately has kind of just been real, formulaic, stale.
Yeah, we could get into it. Even the whole beef right now with the big rappers, even that to me has been like, I didn't see anything special out of it.
Yeah,
I felt like there was a lot of just girls. Like I'm like, girls will say this shit.
Yeah,
you're a bad dad.
How I felt about it was so for a long time I've liked Drake, right?
Yeah.
I've always been a Kendrick stan. I like Kendrick a lot, right? I like him because everything that he does is like artistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll give Drake props where it's due. Like he's definitely a hit maker. You know, he's got bangers. He's got a whole catalog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's got personality. You know what I'm saying? He's got all that stuff. But when it comes to like the culture and like being an artist, I feel like he's kind of like one dimensional. You know, he's like trying to whatever's hot, whatever's current. Like, let me just stay in the limelight. Let me keep making money. You know, let me just keep selling shows. Whatever gets people moving. And
it's like Kendrick said in one of the diss records. You know, like the music that he makes is deeper.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I forget exactly the quote how he worded, but it's along the lines of you know your music is you're not gonna.
Oh, he said you make music to pacify.
Exactly. He does music to electrify them.
Exactly. Yes. So
exactly.
I like listening to Kendrick stuff and just being like, wow, like that's.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by like I don't like this because they're so different.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what are we doing?
I like it for only one reason, and that's because it's like when you see the way Kendrick handles the diss stuff, it's like you can tell like he's meticulous. Like it's right down to the T. I'm doing it at this time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I'm on record already saying that I think Drake is like I'm gonna listen to Drake's records more.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
When it comes to the beef, right? I am more of a Kendrick guy, but when it comes to these records that he's making for these diss records, I ain't never gonna listen to them again.
Yeah, I think
I will listen to Drake's again.
I think Euphoria is like a one and done for me. Like I'm not listening to that ever again.
And this is why I say Drake is gonna win. It's the same thing that happened with Nas and Jay-Z.
You think it's a long-term game?
Yeah, it's just like in the diss, Jay-Z was better. He had real shit, like shit that hits harder.
You think so?
I think so. If you listen to
you're saying Jay-Z and Nas, you said?
Yeah. Like when the Nas is Ether, right?
Yeah.
That is a catchy song.
I've always been a Nas. I've always been an Ether person. So.
No. I like Nas if you ask me to pick who like on who's better artist, who you pick, I'm picking Nas.
Yeah.
Right? Like album wise, all that stuff. But in the diss itself, if you listen to it, not like Hit 'Em Up. I mean, the record that JC made.
Yeah,
it's more of a real diss. It's like real shit. Like, yo, I fucked your wife. I did this.
Yeah,
and then Nas is like, you're ugly. It's just like middle school stuff.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like a middle school will say that. If you see two middle schoolers fight, that's that. Now, I love the record. Why? And he won. Why? Because you could play that in anywhere when that record comes on. The beat itself is so lively.
Yeah.
You just like it just amps you up.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So that's the thing about diss records. Like people have to keep that in mind. If you make a diss record that is just straight up being a savage and attacking the person, and there's no bounce to it.
So this is what I wanted to say about that, bro. So this is why I appreciate Kendrick's approach. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that push-ups and Family Matters, bangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna listen. Those two records will outlive this whole conversation. Bangers.
So, but I was gonna say, but when it comes to like Kendrick and his approach and all that stuff, it's like, forget about who said what, right? I'm looking now at the execution and just like wow, like who's at a first play is gonna grab you? Who's at a first play is gonna be like, I gotta rewind that. What did he say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at Kendrick and it's like, yo, he's like, you can't put me in a box. I'm gonna diss this dude how I want to diss this dude. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm gonna show y'all how much for the culture I am. Like, you guys trying to say that this dude's not for the culture. I'm gonna show you how much, and I'm gonna just do it my way. Like,
well, yeah, Kendrick is culture.
Mm-hmm.
His rhymes is culture. So, and that's why I didn't. That's why I was angry with Cole, but then I was happy with Cole.
Yeah, because you're like, you made the right
no,
right
because
choice.
I'm like, look, the minute they went that low, I'm off of it, and it's not because I'm soft or no, it's because it's literally like, it went off the
rails.
real thing. It went off. What you should show me that you could rhyme and put good rhymes together. I don't care about you high school bullshit. You calling this person this. You like why? You know why I don't care? I don't know if it's true. Kendrick called this dude a pedophile. I don't know. There's no proof saying that it's true.
There's no proof. There's definitely a lot of questionable decisions circling around.
They could be, but you could make that into anything. It's like same thing with Kendrick throwing stones at his family when your wife lives there and you live here. Yeah. You're calling him a bad dad.
Yeah.
It's just like, to me, both of it is like, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
You're saying it, but I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
So I don't care for it. Right away, I go blank. I'm like, this is all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care for it. For that reason alone. So I go into just looking out for who's being clever, who's actually like thinking. Yeah. And that's where I go. And that's why I like that Cole drop. He's like, oh, you guys are going this low? It's not going to stay on, like, I'm out.
See, this is why I like that. But when you look at it, like, if it's true, like, whether or not either one of them is lying, whether or not this dude had a mole or not, doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is, he said right at the beginning of the beef, he said, imagine walking your opponent down, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like with no fear. I forgot the line he said, but essentially he's saying that, like, I got you, it doesn't matter what you do, all right? Yeah. And then to kind of like prove it throughout the thing, it's kind of like wild to me, because like Drake drops Family Matters and it's a banger, right? Yeah. But then not even 20 minutes go by and then Kendrick's like, I got you, bro. Like, you thought you're slick?
And put the other one out. But Drake did the same thing.
With which one?
I know people don't like the whole AI record. Drake dropped
the tailor-made?
He dropped the first one. Mm-hmm. It took Kendrick 15 days.
Yeah. Took him a little while.
And then he dropped 2. He's like, oh, so you're not going to drop? Here you go. Mm-hmm. So to me, it doesn't, like, that doesn't matter
for me. It's just how he just had it already set up. He had to have known something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing with like with Drake. Drake said that there's another record was supposed to come on Monday, but because his house got shot up and all that stuff got put back.
People were thinking it's gonna come out Sunday.
Who knows?
on Mother's Day or something.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I do like the competitive of it, you know. Mm-hmm. But the way where they started talking about kids and all that stuff, it kind of lost me because, like I said, I'm a man, right? It won't be rap no more.
Yeah.
And then I want it to be real now because you guys are talking all this stuff. So now I want you guys to go parking. That's why I will take it because, and that's why there's always been rules about certain things.
Yeah.
You can't tell me how to react once you mention my kids. Everything's off. Like, I could choose not to rap. I could choose to just shoot you. I'm realer for that. In my mind, I'll be like, yo, this dude's gangster. So that's why I'm like, I don't appreciate that part of it.
I think it would have never had gone there had he not dropped Family Matters. I think he had probably multiple records waiting to see how he's going to respond. And then soon as
Kendrick took it to the kids. That's why he was the first one to bring it to that. That's why.
What was the order? How did it go?
I
was pretty sure it was like that, and then push-ups, and then did he drop another one after push-ups?
No. So this is how it went.
No, it was tailor-made, right?
So this is how it went.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it's so much. It's so many records now. So it all started with Cole and Drake put out.
First person shooter.
Yes. So then Kendrick responded to that.
Yeah, but with like that.
Well, exactly. The one that responded after that was Cole.
Yeah.
Then Kendrick responded
Yeah, with
again.
the 7-minute song.
Yeah, Drake hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
Cole responded. Then Kendrick responded a little bit to Cole, but was mainly made at Drake, and that's when he mentioned the kids.
Which song was that?
That was whichever one was the one after Like That. Whichever one
was it. Euphoria? Because I
no.
only heard Euphoria like one time. So.
No, it wasn't. It was the one before that one.
I thought it was Like That and then Euphoria. That's what I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
It could be Euphoria. I could be having like I said, there's so many of them. I could have the name wrong, but it went like this. It went Cole and Drake did a song. Kendrick responded to that song. Cole responded to Like That, and then after that, Kendrick responded to Drake. With Drake hadn't said anything. He just said the first shooter.
Yeah.
Kendrick this first with like name.
Yeah.
Like directly, Kendrick was the first one.
I gotta look at it again, dude.
Yeah, because Drake even says it. He's like, "Oh, I was gonna leave the kids out of it, but since you mention it, and that's when
I was really trying to keep it PG."
Exactly. So that's how like, and to me, that's why the minute it went to that, I already was like, because to me, they're talking about being real and gangster and tough. The minute it went to that, now we're gonna do it for real. Now it's no rap no more, because that's why this always said leave the kids and the wife out of it.
Yeah, I thought Drake dropped Family Matters, and then that's how he responded to it.
Because Kendrick responded first to Cole,
mm-hmm.
But it was mainly towards Drake the whole time.
Yeah.
After, remember, Kendrick dropped.
You got to pull up the Euphoria lyrics, bro. Maybe it's on Euphoria because I only heard it like one time, you know. So.
Yeah, so I know that. I know like Kendrick went to the kids and the family first,
mm-hmm.
and then after that, it just went like I was like, oh. Like
interesting, yeah. I thought it was the other way around.
No, Kendrick went low first.
Yeah,
yeah. Because
what did he say?
It was the whole Pusha T thing. Yeah, you're back. You're using your kid for the gram. You're not even there. Like, you know, you use him for like same thing that Pusha T said.
Yeah. Okay.
So then that's when everything else then started. Like it got real after that.
I see.
Because that's when he's like, oh, I was trying to keep it PG, but since you went for the kid and the stuff, then, and then all the rape. And that's when I was like, okay. Like,
yeah. I think you're right, because he said, you mentioned my seed and I got to go back.
Now you got to deal with his dad.
Family Matters, right?
Yeah, now you got to deal with his dad. Like I said, to me, the minute I went to that, I was like, oh, this is bullshit. And a lot of the great rappers are saying it. They're like, oh, it's no longer, like, this is high school. I could see a high school kid talking about your mom and your dad. This is all high school shit. So that's why I'm like, whatever. I don't give a fuck who wins. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To me, the one that's going to win is whoever's music song out of those diss records, whoever we listen to 10 years from now, that's a win.
I mean, right now, Kendrick is winning, but I can't speak for 10 years.
Yes. Right now, Kendrick is, because we haven't seen what Drake is going to drop.
Drake got a lot of people in his pocket, though.
I don't know. It's all convoluted. It gets all convoluted, you know. Like it gets tricky.
Everything I'm saying, I'm just joking around.
No. It's good. It's good for the conversation, because like I said, that's why I'm like, I don't know what's real or what's not, and what's not. I know Drake has a lot of beef with a lot of people, and everybody's coming after him.
If you ask me, the way I see it is, if it does end on, because it would be weird for this guy to like his people to be like, Kendrick, we want you to apologize, and then he drops another diss track. Like that would be strange, you know?
Nah, Kendrick's not apologizing about nothing.
Yeah, obviously we know he's not gonna apologize about anything, but like it would be weird. Why would Drake's publicity do that? And then all of a sudden he drops another track. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So Kendrick can, triple down on the pedo stuff. Like
exactly.
That's just not a smart move.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So I just don't think he's dropping any more track. I think it's done. Like,
yeah, and then you know what the messed up part about this whole thing, and why I also don't get why Kendrick would do it, or Cole would do it for that matter. It doesn't matter if Drake loses. Why? You know why?
Why?
Drake is gonna go make another hit song. And
it
doesn't matter.
Obviously, yeah, we know.
It doesn't matter what he does. We'll still listen to R. Kelly, all right? So, if you can make hit records, you're going to be around forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact. If Kendrick was to lose, it'll be different.
Yeah.
Same thing if Cole was to lose. It'll be different.
Yeah, I think Cole can be here forever, though. I think he has the ability to make hits, too.
Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kendrick does too. I think Kendrick has better he could make better hits than Cole.
Yeah.
Because his voice is more. He plays with his voice a lot more. Kendrick does.
Yeah.
This is what I would do if I was Cole. I would wait for this to die down, and whoever people decide who won, then I'm going at that person.
I'm dead. There's no way, bro. After he's seen how this went down, there's no way, dude.
To me, it's like, I don't know. Cole is a little bit more buttoned up. They ain't gonna be not that all those rumors like there are from these other two. There's not gonna be.
You think he's just? But the way that he went at Kendrick was just not good at all. Dude.
No, it wasn't. It was half-assed. Like
trying
you could
to
tell.
diss his catalog. Like, come on.
You could. That was a freestyle, basically.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like,
yeah. No, that's why I was like, oh, like nah. Like when he dropped that, I'm like, I'm hoping something else is coming because this is not like.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I think Cole could get both of them.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty even between him and Kendrick. Yeah. I think it would be tough.
They're great. All three of them are great.
Yeah.
So it's tough anyway. But
how you feel about Big Sean? He's not it. He's not in the conversation. I saw a funny Instagram comment that said he has so much potential.
But the thing is, there's a lot of people with potential. Like, I get what you mean. You're trying to say funny. He's like, yeah,
he's had a lot of potential. Fucking 6 albums later,
exactly.
Still, like, you know, like,
yeah. I think that was a little weird, but it's good. It's good for I mean, it's good for the game. I think it's good for rap. As long as it's they don't go that crazy. Like when they to me, the whole family stuff is just like all right.
What I'm thinking is like, where does either one of them go from here?
This is what I mean by it doesn't matter about Drake. Drake is just gonna put out another,
you know what I mean,
club record.
But then what happens when he puts out another record, and then the online mob comes for him and just starts.
The club people and those people are louder.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The internet got a voice, bro. They're disliking the shit out of all his stuff right now, dude.
No, they are. They definitely are. But like I said, the minute all this dies down and their girl wants to go listen to Drake, it's all gonna go back to. It's gonna go back to the same thing. The only thing is, like, can he come out and be tough again? I don't know,
dude.
It's the same thing with what I feel like with Cole. I'm like, well, Cole, you bat out. I don't want to hear you on the records anymore saying, I hope a rapper comes for me. Yeah. I don't want to hear that no more from you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest fan, but I don't want to hear you talking like that no more because you were talking like that. This happened and you got out of it. So stick to your positive shit now.
Yeah.
And keep it at that because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Stick to the spiritual,
Yeah, exactly.
Make the banger spiritual hits that we can vibrate high to and just stick to that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Because like I said, to me, like the thing about me and rap is I want you to live it. If you're not living it, I don't respect it in that sense. And if you're not, at least tell me, yo, this is all bullshit. This is not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking gangster, I want you to be a gangster. If you're talking knowledge and positivity, I want you to be that.
Yeah, you like authenticity out of it. Yeah,
I do not like fake stuff, and this is what I mean by the whole beat. Like, to me, is like, at the end of it, I'm looking at both of them. I'm like, oh shit, we knew Drake was a little corny. Now I know Kendrick's a little corny because now I just want you to go at it for real. Like, and they're not gonna do it. So
the way I see it is like, I see those records, like especially the Kendrick record, the last one. The Not Like Us, like to me, like that's just him just having fun with it, like like I'm gonna say whatever I want.
It's
like.
Good, it's good. That whole thing he did before that one, like with the grams, like going at all the way down from the.
I think that one right there, that one's an artistical like master work of like I'm gonna pick my opponent apart like in the most intellectual of ways. I'm gonna write each one of his family members a letter, like.
And then. Yeah, like it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole length of it too, though? Like the 7 minutes. I'm like, I'm good.
Dude. I don't know how I feel about that.
I couldn't listen to a lot. Like some of them I could, some of them I was like, okay.
I seen an Instagram comment talking about how like everything nowadays, like music wise, it's like there's no need for anything past 3 minutes.
That's not true.
And I'm like, I don't feel that way.
No, like that's not. It depends what it is.
Like, well, they were talking like music, like current music today. Like
Yeah.
there's no reason for they're like don't bring Bridges back, like leave Bridges out of it, like you know what I mean?
No,
And,
I like all that stuff.
like
I like
the way
skids. I like all that stuff.
yeah, like the way I see it is like, bro, like why are they trying to limit creativity and you don't got the attention span to sit there and admire like taking the art, like you're just gonna sit there and consume, you know?
bad artist.
Yeah, it's either the bad artists that are not putting any substance into it. Like, okay, of course you don't want to hear fucking 4 or 5 minutes of
people gonna catch on to you.
Yeah.
It's like you can't do it. So yeah, that's why.
So it's like, yeah, of course I understand that, but it just goes to show like what the culture is like today, like what's current.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. There's no. But let's get off of that topic. That's cool to talk about, but you know.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about earlier about the joke book, dude. Right?
Oh yeah.
Have you written jokes? Have you done anything like that?
Yes, I have tried to write jokes before, and I have written successful ones. I have written them. And
do you got one off top? I'll tell you the one that I wrote the day before yesterday. It's not gonna be like a banger, but it's just some shit I thought.
Off top, no, I don't think they've come. No, let me see. No, I don't remember one off top. It's been a while since I wrote a joke.
Yeah.
But I used to just try them out with with my friends.
Yeah.
Like we'll be somewhere. They don't know.
Every comedian's like, that's just not. If you tell them, you know what I mean. But you weren't telling them, I'm assuming.
Oh no, I'm not telling them. Oh yeah, I got this joke. No, we're just hanging around the thing, and then something will happen, and then I'll just go into a joke. Like it's not even a joke. It's a story. And it's kind of funny, but it's not really a joke. It's more of a story, and it's funny.
It's like a story, but there's funny moments in it.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not I thought about it and how I'm gonna put it together, and then basically just I think you probably heard the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Of how I saved a person at the beach, and because I'm fat, I got titties.
You told me, right?
Yeah. We were here. We're talking about it.
Yeah, I feel like we were all here. Yeah. A couple of people were here. Yeah.
So I saved the dude, but because I'm fat and I got titties, they go to the musclehead dude, thinking that he was the one that
he did it.
Yeah, like I go to get the guy out of the water. The buff guy comes and helps me at the end once I did all the work.
Yeah.
And everybody, the cops and the nurses and everybody goes to him like he did it, and I'm like, of course you guys would fucking think that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he did it.
I've been thinking about stuff like that, like what's funny from my life that I can incorporate into like a bit or like a story,
I like storytelling a lot. Like a lot of my favorite comedians do like have a story.
Yeah, definitely. Dave Chappelle has definitely kind of mastered that one. The storytelling craft.
Yes, the best. I would say. But there's a lot. You're Ali Sadiq.
I'm not sure if I could see a picture, maybe.
Yeah, he's a
black comedian.
Black comedian. He went to jail.
I think I seen his bit about mushrooms. He took mushrooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's funny. All most of his stuff is based on stories.
Yeah.
So I love all his stuff. The story when I think it's called "My Story with a Bag of Mushrooms."
Yeah, that's the one.
And then he has one for jail. And then he has one that's called "Mexican Got on Boots." It's all stories that are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So I like comedians like that.
Yeah. I was thinking about something that I would love to work out as a bit or like a story or something is when I was super young, right? When I was in kindergarten. One of my very first experiences, and this is probably why I'm so rebellious today, is because like the very first thing they told us, they sat us all down, and it's the sad tear-jerking moment when the parents, they walk out the room, and like you're a kid, you don't know what the hell is going on. You're like, you know what I mean? Like they're leaving. Like who are these people? Yeah. Right? Teacher tells me, I'm gonna fold this piece of paper for you in a triangle. You're gonna write your name on it. Don't draw on the paper. All right. Immediately, all right. I look to the side. What are the kids doing, right? Drawing little smiley faces. Look, right? I look over. I'm like, I want to do that. All right? Yeah. Immediately, I draw some shit. Bro, I kid you not. The kindergarten teacher comes up to me. She says, I told you not to draw the paper. Grabs me by my hand, right? And pulls me in the air and moves me to like another seat, right? And I just remember feeling like, this is school? Like, fuck school.
Yeah. That would do it.
Right?
I was that kid too, man. I was that kid that everybody else was doing something or everybody would do something to me. But when I did it back, I was the one that get caught and got in trouble.
So I wanted to say, and then many years later now I'm in college, right? I'm like 19, my first semester being a college student, going to UMass, and I never told anybody in my classes then when I was there, but I ended up getting hit by the car, right?
Yeah.
I told you that story, right?
Yeah.
And it was a kindergarten teacher who was in the car there.
Way, dude.
Like, yo, they're out to get me, bro.
Exactly.
They're out there,
Kindergarten's trying to take you back, bro.
It's the reason I hate school, dude.
Oh, man. I hated school, period. But, yeah, I would do it.
But, yeah, I would love to work that out into, like, a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a little cool story.
You could definitely do it. That they have that, Kevin Hart has one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about his mom told him to tell the teacher something exactly how she said it.
Oh, the
curse
she ain't got no nipples?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that bit.
Don't tell the teacher to mind her damn business. And he goes in there, mind your motherfucking man. It just starts going off like fucking Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. So sort of like that. But yeah, school has a way of like they leave an imprint on you.
Dude. Talking about being indoctrinated, like you said earlier.
100%.
We don't need to get into all that, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a losing battle right now. But I wanted to ask you, and this is completely off anything that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about religion? Because I know you have very specific ideas, or the way you think of it.
Yeah,
what you think of it.
When I think about religion, man, it's hard to even pick a spot to start. But what I think is that each single one kind of like tells a little bit of the truth in their own way, and it's like storytelling, like how you said. It's like you think about what are the moments that stick with you. It's like you tell a story. You know what I mean? You got the characters. The beginning, middle, and end, there's always the conflict and the resolution. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you don't have any of that stuff, where's the interest? You know what I mean? How are you going to get people who don't have what we think to know had technology that could record? You know what I mean? Exactly. I don't know what they were writing on back then, back before they did
hieroglyphs.
the
That's
books.
how it started, hieroglyphs.
You know what I'm saying? They were doing like stone tablets type stuff,
carvings and yeah.
And when you think about religion and most major religions, they're very symbolic. They have a lot of symbology in terms of like whether it's the prophets like Christ or
They have a lot of similarities.
Yeah,
all of
dude.
them, across the board.
Across
the board, yeah.
Like
I agree with that.
They're all like, you got the ultimate good, the supreme good, and the supreme evil, and then we're just there in the middle, and each one is kind of like acknowledging that particular truth in like their own way,
Exactly. It's like back to comedy. I believe it was Eddie Griffin. I don't know
I like Eddie Griffin.
Yeah.
He's got some dope bits of truth.
Yes, you definitely make you think and make you laugh.
Yeah.
But he says like, it's all the fucking same message. Who gives a fuck about the messenger? That we get the message.
Yeah.
And I think that is spot on
to
what you're saying. It's like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, the same thing with like the ark. There's a lot of religions that have the same story of, this great flood in various different cultures around the whole world. So there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah.
Is it exactly how they, are depicting it? Of course not.
Yeah.
But if every culture has a story of this great flood, it probably happened at some point.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, how is this person building a pyramid? This person is building a pyramid. Like
that is, man, we could do a whole podcast on that alone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all of that stuff is like before, technology to the degree that we have it now, at least we think, and it's like, how are they all telling all these stories? There's a lot of like different areas with physical proof,
Yes.
things like that. Like it's got to have some truth to it.
100%. I think, especially with like the pyramids, when you think the scale of what they did, and you think of there's no machineries, there's no How they're moving all these blocks in stone, and have you heard the theory of energy plant? The pyramid.
Like explain. Like you're saying that the pyramid itself harnesses energy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what the intent is to transmit power across the world. And some people may add, you know, in space and talk to our family members. But they say, and there's proof of all this, like scientifically now, there's proof like, this could have been used for making electricity go throughout the world wirelessly. And Nikola Tesla,
he's one of my favorites.
Yes, rebuilt
his story's ill.
Yeah, he proved it himself. Yeah, and then that story's messed up because
the government gets involved.
Exactly.
And, we can't have nothing for free.
No, definitely not. Definitely not energy.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, all that makes sense. And what that tells me is that what we know, we come from a very intelligent.
Civilizations prior to us, they knew some things.
We ain't the smartest ones.
Definitely not, dude.
No, by far, I don't think we are.
Definitely not.
So, like, that tells you a lot of stuff when it comes to, like, religion. Yeah. If these things are true, then it also kind of contradicts some of what religion says.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Have you studied any religion where they talk about aliens?
Well, obviously we all know about Scientology. Yes. I don't know the in-depth specifics, but I do know that they talk about aliens came here.
I would say older religions. That one, yes.
Yeah. Older ones, it depends on how you look at it, you know? Like how you interpret the words.
Exactly.
Like there's some, you know what I mean? Flaming chariot, like
exactly. Exactly.
How you call a spaceship before you know what a spaceship was?
How do you draw all these things?
You know what I'm saying?
These people have drawings of.
Yeah, dude. Da Vinci's mad smart.
Exactly.
All his contraptions.
Out of nowhere.
Like, where's he getting that info from? What's he tapping into, you know? Like, it's got to be something.
And then all that, our interest in space.
Our interest in space, the rapid technology boom, after the 40s. All of, like, the uncanny things that you can't explain throughout time, like how did this guy come up with the telephone and this guy come up with the telephone and they're not even connected. The telephone don't exist to call each other, but they both made that shit.
Synchronicity, I think. What it's called.
And there's a lot of moments like that.
I believe that. I believe there's definitely something that we're trying to achieve as a human species. We don't know what it is. It's like ants. Like everybody's doing something.
Yeah.
We don't know that it connects together. We don't know.
Do you have any theories?
Like what? Yeah, I believe.
What do you think about like what life is?
I believe that we are probably the universe is very big and there's very amounts of different species out there. Mm-hmm. Tons of it. Just like we have animals here. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe that we've been contacted by these people before at some point, and we've been probably helped and, and shown things by these people before. What happened and, how come they don't show themselves and all that stuff? I don't know. I don't understand that. I think probably the government has stuff to do with that.
Yeah, you could be on something with that. I know that's a lot of rumors in the conspiracy world that they've made treaties and things to acquire technology.
Yes, well, they want stuff from us.
Exactly.
And we can't really keep them from getting them. So we make all these rules and we try to make all these treaties to, not cause panic and chaos, basically.
Do you think that these extraterrestrial are extra dimensional? Meaning that like they exist beyond our comprehension type situation and they slip through, you know what I mean, here and there to kind of like make themselves known. Like
I think that is a possibility when it comes to like the higher end of beings, of any civilization. I think we all start the same.
Yeah.
We learn, and then we probably figure out a way to move past the physical. Mm-hmm. So maybe there could be some alien species out there that could, travel and do things without like you said, just dimensional.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a lot of them. That's why we have technology itself. Like we manipulate the things around us. So I don't think there's still alien species doing all that stuff with technology. But I'm sure there's gonna be somewhere out there that move past that already.
Yeah, man. Have you ever heard me talk about the Saturn matrix theory and all that stuff?
No.
Nah. That gets into like a whole another rabbit hole of like religion / symbolism in society and things like that. And it ties in together like old mythologies. It ties everything in together, kind of essentially.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by like, how we have gods and all these things. I think all those beings were probably just aliens of some sort.
Yeah.
And they
or just metaphors for
too.
energy, things like lightning. And
exactly.
Yeah.
The god of thunder, and it's I could see how a primitive person could see that and come up with that's the god of whatever.
Like everything about our reality and matrix and just life, it's just like there's got to be some type of masterful creator thing.
Yeah.
You telling me it all came from nothing and it was just this perfect? Like
that's what it's too. It would be too much of a coincidence.
That's how I feel about it too.
Even a fraction of something's off, we all dead.
Yeah.
So it's like this couldn't just happen this perfect.
Yeah.
But what do you think of like us as a species? Like if you look at the way we have evolved and how we're headed, where we were, and I don't know what's right. I'm not here to like make a choice because I don't know, but we're moving into this space of kind of mixing with technology, which some people get freaked out about it.
Yeah.
I don't. I honestly think that is our natural. This is just what we're meant to be doing. Because if not, it wouldn't like every civilization. We do the same thing over and over again. We use our imagination and we create. And it seems that is something we can't control this from humans. We're just going to do this every time.
The people who don't create, those are some strange people who think that they don't have creativity within them is beyond me.
Like we all, like how you're not curious.
Yeah.
Like how you do not like have...
Like, where did it go?
Exactly.
Like
we all had it at some point.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. And
then,
the terrible twos, the why.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Where did that go?
I feel like government is, they do their thing to make sure that stops at some point.
Oh yeah, they definitely distract us.
It starts with school, putting you into this setting of controlled learning, where they control everything, time, place, everything. You can't ask questions. Like in school, you ask a simple question. Some of the teachers don't even know the answer. It's like for me, it was a very simple one. Why were you all of a sudden we're using letters and numbers? Like what real practical anything is this? But we get taught this, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of it doesn't make sense. We don't use it all the time.
Yeah. It's not practical in the everyday.
Exactly. Yeah. But we're forced to learn these things. And to me, there has to be an agenda behind this.
Yeah.
So I think, of course, we are meant to create and improve. And wherever that leads, I think that's our maturity. That's when we reach our what we're supposed to be. Whatever that is. I don't know.
Yeah. So to further elaborate on that, I think that that little spark that each one of us has of that creativity, is, you know what a fractal is? Like,
no. I heard the word before.
It's like when something on a micro is the same on the macro. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just gets bigger and bigger and it repeats essentially forever. Examples of a fractal would be like sand, a grain of sand in a, you know what I mean, your hand. Leaves on a tree, they're all the same leaf, but you know what I mean? It grows bigger on some spot. Yeah. I think we're like a fractal of God, right? In the sense that like the spirit of God is just you get a little bit, you get a little bit, you know what I mean? And that's like everything that's alive and has consciousness. And then also the stuff that's not alive has it too, because it's kind of like another dimension. We give it to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just by knowing that it's there and it exists, right? But if we don't look, then that shit is like it's not there.
It's not there.
At least to us, right?
Correct.
In the moment. And that's what's trippy about reality is like the scientists say that reality came from the Big Bang, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how could it come from nothing, right?
Yeah.
How do we know who was there to experience it?
Exactly.
You know, I had a joke in my joke book, and the joke was, the Big Bang was the first memory.
That's what's the first recording of.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
That's true. The Big Bang was the first memory. Ever.
Yeah, that's where that's. If you think about it, all that stuff is crazy. It's like out of that, everything got created.
That's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
All of the energy and matter and atoms and every single thing ever was in that first initial soup of boom. Well, the scientists do say that it wasn't really like a bang, but like it's just the best way to describe, you know, the expansion of rapid matter, you know, everything coming to be and whatnot.
Do you believe in aliens?
So my thought on that is just like how you said, well, earlier I was saying that like God is a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
I think that like if there is a creator, God being that is the thing that is giving us all source, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And at the same time also doesn't exist because science says that this came from nothing, you know?
Correct.
Then it's a metaphor, meaning that it's both at the same exact time. Just like the infinity symbol, the energy goes into itself.
Yep.
Right? And in my joke book, I have like a little diagram where I write about that. And humans are like right in the middle. Right?
So we exist in that middle plane.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we could access both.
And then God's on both sides. Right? Right? And it's like, it's like you're experiencing yourself because you're God and you can see all the other parts of you throughout the whole everything. And then you die, right? And you become nothing, but you're not nothing. You're the ideas that are nothing in other people's heads.
Correct.
So it's like you're the negative side of the infinity symbol, and then it just gets recycled into the next person that is brought up with those ideas that were taught. You get what I'm trying to say?
Well,
you live on.
Yes. Because if we believe science has proved that nothing disappears.
Exactly. Yeah.
So based on that theory, like you could change something could change form, but you can't really destroy anything. Yeah. So why would we be the exception? You know.
How do you feel about like dreams? Like me and Pane talk about dreams here and there on his podcast, but how do you feel about dreams?
I don't remember a lot of my dreams. The only dreams I remember are the bad ones. Like I remember the real bad ones, but the good ones I don't remember. Yeah. So I will have a hard time answering that question.
I see.
I have had a lot of night terrors, if you call it.
Yeah.
And but different ones. And by night terrors, I mean like I went through a span where I will have the same, not like every day, but like I will have for like 3 years, I will have the same nightmare on and off, depending.
But do you remember what it was like?
Yeah, I remember.
You might talk about or what you think it means. Like talk a little bit about.
Yeah, I could go into that. Which I grew up a little bit, and my upbringing is a little bit weird because I grew up without my mom and my dad, but not because I was adopted or anything like that. My mom was here in the United States. I was back in Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. I didn't live with my dad. I lived with my grandma. My dad was always working, so we would see him here and there sometimes in the weekend. So mainly from birth to about 10, I grew up with my aunt and uncle or my grandma, bouncing from these three places, either my aunt, my uncle, or my grandma. Yeah. My uncle was the first father figure, like real man of the house that I experienced. He was very big. He was a tall man. He was a big dude. And he had a deep, penetrating, scary
Yeah.
voice. Like his voice was just like it would.
Yeah.
My uncle was the type of person that the kind of respect and fear that he like brought out of you. It was, when you do something wrong when you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like go hide from your parents.
Yep.
Well, my uncle, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Because we would hide, and all he would do was sit somewhere and say, in this deep, manly voice, "You guys have till I count to 3." And nobody stood to 3. The minute he started counting, we will all get the fuck from wherever we were hiding.
Yeah.
We will all get out and stand right in front of him. That is a level of respect and fear that, you know what I'm saying? And the guy never hit me. Never hit me.
Yeah. He just got that presence.
He just had this presence about him where he was scary. So my nightmare was about this giant guy with a crazy voice that would sit somewhere and just yell, and everything would be destroyed.
What?
So like the house would start like flying. Like it was just like, and I always say like it has to come from that. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Then I outgrew it. Like once, and it's funny because once I like put a reason behind it, it stopped. Once I'm like, oh, I think this is because of my uncle.
Yeah. Once you analyzed it.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's why I was. And the funny part is people will say, like, oh, does this guy abuse you? No.
Mm-hmm.
He never like.
He was just because you were young, right?
Yes.
So he's like a symbol in your mind.
5, 6. Yeah. So he was like the respect, fear, and strength of like any, like that's how I viewed him. So like that was my nightmare was about that. It would happen all the time, and it would be the same start and the same finish every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It never changed. It was the exact same thing every time.
Yeah.
And then I think I told you one about oh no, I think in another podcast. And the guy that I told the story to said that's reincarnation. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I never like put that together, but I will have the same dream that I'll be in a casket, and I'll be sitting there looking up, and I will see my soul leave.
Really?
And then I will reset back at the cabin at the same casket, and I will see my soul leave again, and that'll be the whole dream relooping every time.
That's pretty wild, dude.
Every time.
That's pretty wild, bro.
And every time I will have this dream, I will get up in sweats, like
yeah,
like I ran, like I got out of the shower.
Yeah,
every single time, and it would be the same thing. He said it was like, oh, that's reincarnation. That's you seeing your past lives. Like that's how many times you've been around.
That's pretty wild, bro.
And he told me, he's like, do people say that you're kind of like a little bit like sagey, or like that you have like, a little bit of understanding of like certain things? And I'm like, maybe. So he's like, that's probably you just probably been here a lot of times.
That's pretty interesting, bro.
He's like, you're probably gonna get it right this time. I hope so.
Yeah, dude. I hope so, bro. Yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about past lives and reincarnation and things like that?
I believe it.
Yeah?
I believe that we get recycled.
Yeah.
I believe that like I said, I don't believe we just die. Something has to happen.
Now, do you think, obviously we're very similar and we both have like understanding that like anything could be possible, but which one do you think it's more likely? You keep reliving this same life over and over, or you're living multiple different lives? I
think you're probably, what I would like to say is you probably relive the same life, just different, like in the sense of you don't remember it.
That's what I'm saying, like deja vu and all these weird moments. You know,
I think you just keep going back to the same thing, differently, slight changes, till maybe you'll get it right, and then you'll stop reincarnating because you finally got it right. And
you figured it out.
Exactly. You probably get somewhere, reach enlightenment in some sort of way. But I believe in reincarnation. I believe that you don't just die.
Yeah. So with me, dude, I don't think I don't have nightmares.
You never had a nightmare?
I have, but like the last nightmare I had, I was like probably like five or six. Like waking up screaming, scared. You know what I mean? That was like the last time, bro. And it was such a silly dream, dude. When I think about it,
I had that like 3 weeks ago.
where you woke up screaming
I woke up
or like sweats.
like my heart racing,
Yeah.
scared, and it was like
You would call that a nightmare though, or like a tense dream? You know, like what's the difference? I guess.
well, this was very a nightmare because it was with my kids, and it was like one of my kids got hit by a car.
Oh yeah,
And then
that's a dark one.
yeah, and then I got up from that one. So like I had the dream. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, whoa, that was not a good one. So then I went to the bathroom, drank some water, went back to bed, and then I had the same exact dream, but with my other son. After that,
Bruh.
I got up and I was like having a panic attack. Like I woke up my wife. I was like, because I was like, I woke up like with that, like,
yeah, that fear kind of.
The dream will end with me realizing that he's passed. So I'm in the floor, like, and he, like, me realizing that. That's when the dream will end. Both times, first with my first kid, and then with my second one.
So maybe that's why you don't remember a lot. Not to psychoanalyze you or anything, you know, but like just from what you just told me, this little brief thing. You don't remember a lot of the dreams that you had because it seems like your mind likes to go to those dark places.
It doesn't happen all the time, but that's the only ones I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
The only ones I remember is the ones that like scare me.
They left the imprint on you.
Yeah, the fun ones and stuff. I guess it's kind of like life, right?
Yeah.
You know, the beautiful things it goes by very fast, but the things that hurt, they stick.
They leave that. Yeah. And I was gonna say, back in 2014, I had an aunt who had passed away. Like a second mom to me, essentially, growing up, right? She always babysat me and stuff. And I used to have a recurring dream after she passed away that nobody knew that she had passed away except me.
Oh, jeez.
And I would tell them all the time, right? I'd tell my family or my friends, like, you know, yeah, she passed away. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, she's still alive, right? And I would see her in the background of the dream everywhere, not speaking, not talking, not saying anything. And just like either looking off like blankly with a blank stare or looking at me like as I'm telling these people like she's dead, she passed away, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And she wouldn't like say anything.
She would never open her mouth, never say a thing to me, dude. And I would have this recurring dream for probably like a year after she passed away. And I had told her son about it, my cousin, and he said to me, he was like, it sounds at this point in time, I was living mostly alone. My brother, my sister, and my mom all lived in Florida, and my dad wasn't really home that often.
Yeah.
So it was just like I was alone a lot. He's like, I feel like you're having this dream because you feel like you're mourning alone, you know? And then once he brought that realization to me, those dreams stopped, and I stopped having that.
Yes, and I think dreams are a way of your brain. Are you a overthinker? Do you have a problem with like falling asleep or shutting your brain off?
Sometimes, not always.
See me, that's me all the time.
Yeah.
Like I have a very hard time like just turning it off.
Yeah.
And usually when I have those nightmares or those dreams, I've had the realization of they're happening for a reason. My brain is trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
So like in that sense, like dreams are important for me for that, because sooner or later I'll figure out what it is and then they stop. Every time I put the connection of why, I never have them again.
Yeah, it's good though. At least you've gotten to that point with your own dream cycles and stuff.
Yeah, you have to analyze yourself. Like I believe in doing that a lot. Just like looking inwards, like trying to figure out myself for whatever, like for anything I do. So I could pretty much tell you exactly like how I'm gonna react to something based on like how I personally am. So like if I see certain things, I know they're gonna trigger me, and I know why they're gonna trigger me. It's always comes back to something that happened in the past or something I saw. So like you have to self-analyze, and dreams do that for me, because sometimes they're trying to tell me something. Like with my kids, I'm thinking that's my biggest fear. That is literally the worst thing that could happen. Is that. So I don't know, maybe things are going good at the studio, or things are changing and I'm getting scared of like what's coming next. And
Yeah.
what is the biggest fear? Oh, it's them. So,
Yeah, I feel that. I have a lot of dreams. Like my dreams are strange, bro. Like a lot of my dreams, a lot of the times is me like controlling them. Like I lucid dream a lot.
okay.
And it will always be like a common theme for me is like I will become awake in the dream. Like
I never had that happen.
so like for example, I'll give you one. This is one of my more recent lucid dreams that I remember pretty vividly. This was back when I worked at a place called Newcastle Systems. I used to do work where it was like assembly work, just putting together carts and stuff, right? And I had gone home from work one day, right? And it was like a nice summer day. Get home, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a quick nap, right? I take a nap. In the dream, in the nap, I'm back at work, right?
That is a nightmare.
Yeah. So I'm back at work, right? But it's like
I know
people are introducing me to other coworkers, and I'm like, but I work here. I should know this guy, right? And then weird shit will start happening in the dream. Like he'll be like, hey, meet this guy. And then all of a sudden the guy starts giving me multiple high fives, right? He's like, yeah. And then in the dream, as that's happening, I'm like, this is weird, right?
Why is this happening?
I have to be dreaming, right? And then
So
I become awake in the dream, and then I can take control, right? And the what happened after that was once he gave me all those high fives, I'm like, I'm dreaming. So I walked outside, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna levitate, right? I start flying, right? And then I'm like, no one's gonna believe me, so I pull up my phone and I start to like record myself. And as soon as I hit the record, I wake up.
That's pretty cool though.
A lot of my dreams are like that. Like
I have like realized in a dream, like, okay, this is a dream, but I can't like wake myself up.
Yeah.
Because with that other nightmare, once it happened, my childhood one with my uncle, or who I think is my uncle. Once I once I had it a few times.
Yeah.
Once it would start, I would know, like, oh shit.
Yeah. Here I am again.
Here I am again, right? And I can't get out.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing to stop it. I can't do nothing to shut it off. I have no control. I can't control, even though I know already, oh, this is just my fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It plays out the same exact way. Even if I try to go left and make the different decision, it doesn't matter.
See, that's pretty wild.
Have you ever had an issue or a problem that you were trying to fix and you falling asleep thinking about it and woke up with the answer?
I don't think so.
That's happened to me a lot.
Yeah, I don't think so, bro.
That's happened to me a lot. Like I've gone to sleep with, like, let's say my job. Like I need to figure out how I'm going to do this part of my job today. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I need to do it by tomorrow because I have no choice.
Yeah.
This needs to happen. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I have gone to sleep with that stress. And
he slept on it.
And for real. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this way.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that work?
I'll tell you what happens to me. And it doesn't happen super often, but like I'll have a dream and then I'll write that because I keep a dream journal. I'll write that down and then the next day I'll find out like, oh, there's some truth to that dream. Like it wasn't just a dream. Like somehow I connected to something or someone. Like
well, they do say our dreams are like just a recounting of a day of something in our past.
Yeah. But like the things that happened in my dream haven't happened yet, and they don't, or they're not known to me until I make it. I tell them the dream, and then they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's wild.
I'll give you an example. Like I had one dream about a friend who we were all together at an amusement park, and we were like on the way out, like after the day of riding, and you're tired and you're going back to your car, right? And we're making our way through the two doors, and then I turned behind me and one of my friends, she's there with her boyfriend, right? In the dream, he has no face. I can't. It's like one of those dreams. I can't see him. You know what I mean? I look in his face. It is just blurry. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And I turned back, and that was the first thing that made me become like lucid. Was I realized, why can't I see his face?
Like something's wrong here.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, he starts changing her. In front of everybody, he's like changing her clothes and stuff, and that's exactly what I thought in the dream. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he doing that? That's so strange, right? So immediately I wake up and while it's still fresh, I write it down like exactly how it played out in my dream. And then I tell my friend who the dream was about, right? And she tells me like, she's like, oh, that's kind of embarrassing because like last night I had a little bit of an accident and my boyfriend had to help me change.
Oh,
so I'm like, what
the fuck? Yeah.
Like what? You know what I mean? Like how do I explain that?
Yeah,
Like,
I had a family member, my grandmother. She used to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dreams. I have dreams like that.
Yeah. And that goes to what people say, like we all have some type of a ability or creative. We all wire a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we're more receptible to different things.
That's like anime too.
Yeah.
Anime, they always have like some special power that everyone all share, but they do it in their own way.
They do it specifically different for them.
Yeah.
Because my grandma used to do that. My grandma was scary when it came to that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because she used to just predict things on her. If she had a dream, everybody would listen. Because everybody would be like, oh, what? Yeah, is it going to come true?
Yeah.
Like with me, I don't have those kind of dreams where like I predict anything.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I do have is like I've fixed things that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
So I figure it out in my sleep somehow. And it's not like
that's cool ability though, bro.
Well, it's hard because when that happens to me, it's not like I get up rested. I feel like I worked. But this is the messed up part. I don't remember how I got the answer.
You pulled it from the other dimensions, bro.
I go to sleep with the problem.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And it's not like I sit there remembering like, oh, this is like, no, I just know I wake up and it's like, why didn't I think of that yesterday?
Yeah.
Like,
nah, bro, you were pulling it from other dimensions, dude.
Somehow.
That's what I think, man. That's what I think about those dreams that I'm having, is that it's happening in real time, but I'm pulling it from another dimension while I'm asleep. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel about those type of dreams.
Do you believe on like different dimensions in the sense of there's many of us walking, like there's the same thing is happening?
I kind of do, yeah.
A million, like however, many other times somewhere else.
I think that's where the imagination pulls from, is those dimensions. And it's like we have every single possibility that could ever be and ever was. Or, you know what I'm saying?
It's already there.
In the imagination. You can vividly see it with your third eye, you know what I'm saying? And whether or not we can bring that into reality is another thing. But I think there are realities that exist out there.
I'm also good at that. At saying I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
And doing it.
Yeah, same.
And that's very hard for other people. Because I'm like, no, I'm doing this. Like, how? Yeah. Why? Like, I don't know, but I'm going to do it somehow. Then it happens. It's not like I could control it. I just know whatever I focus on, I could do it.
Do you believe in free will?
I would like to think so. I would like to think that with my personality, I will hope so.
Yeah.
But in reality, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I haven't come across anything that I'm like, I wanted to do and I couldn't do it for whatever the reason is. Maybe I've been picking easy shit. I don't know. But I've never felt like there's a limit to anything.
Yeah. I think we talked about birth charts and all that stuff before. And I think you're like me. We're both manifestor type. Yeah. It seems like. Where it's like we can just, whatever we want to happen, we can just make it happen. Yeah, like
as long as I'm willing to. It's not easy because people hear this, right? And they're going to say, oh, just, like I'm not saying
we have very high willpower.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Like I could see something and I have the will to make it come to fruition through hard work.
Yeah.
Because people will listen to this and they'll be like, oh, it's just going to happen magically. It's like, no. I have to work really hard to make this stuff happen. But every time I see something clearly in my head, I'm able to do it every time. Mm-hmm. Now, it takes hard work, but all I have to do is be able to see it perfectly in my head, and I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
Some people can't do that. I don't know, special or what, but I think other people let inside. I think I'm maybe just stubborn. And I don't let like people deter me from like this is what I want, and you could do whatever you want. I'm stubborn. It's not gonna get through to me. I'm not gonna believe you just because you said it.
Yeah.
Well, some people you might tell them you suck, and they'll be like, oh,
And then they just stop.
And
they just
they
quit.
just stop. With me, I'm more like, you tell me I suck. It's like, oh, fuck, do I suck? Shit,
Nah,
I do
I'm
suck.
going to prove to you I don't suck.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, now I got to, if I do suck, now I got to change that, that part. So I don't know if that might be just stubborn.
Stubborn, ego, but you need that to like have that drive, to be successful. I feel like you kind of need that.
But this is the other thing that comes with that. If the minute I get arrogant about, and I learned this through experience.
Yeah.
The minute I get cocky or arrogant about anything like that, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
That's why I stay humble. Because I have realized this through experience. I could manifest anything that I want as long as I don't get full of myself or think I'm better than anybody.
Yeah.
For any, like, the minute those thoughts happen,
mm-hmm.
it goes bad for me every time. So I always practice keeping that in check.
Yeah.
And that's killing your ego every time, because it is healthy and it is good, but it can also burn you.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to play with that, like, well enough. Because we've seen it. We've seen great people just turn terrible because they start believing that all of this is happening and they're better than anybody else. So
Not to say any names, but Drake.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, it could be.
Yeah.
So I always keep that in mind. And it's happened to me, like, I don't know if it has to do with like flow or like that state you go into.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the best analogy I have for it is like basketball.
Yeah.
When I'm playing and I'm just playing freely, is good.
You're in the moment.
Yeah, I'm playing great. When my mindset is that. My mindset is, I'm better than all these dudes. I'm gonna kill these dudes.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah.
It don't work that way.
I need a little bit of both for me personally, and I think it's just because of the nature of my art is music. So you gotta like amp yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like tell yourself like, yeah, you are as good as any of these people out here, because there's a lot of competition out there. But then at the same time, you gotta be like, like, I'm in my lane for a reason.
Exactly. It has to be healthy. It's that balance thing. Everything has to be a balance. If anything is off balance, if you have too much of a belief in yourself without any proof, you get called delusional.
Yeah, I can't just say for like 4 years that I'm gonna be the next Kanye and then I never record a bar.
Exactly. There's a lot of people with that problem. A lot of people view themselves a way, but their actions and their daily life doesn't reflect that.
Yeah, they don't follow through.
And then they want people to view them as they view themselves, but you cannot do that. I can only view you as what you are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Whatever I perceive.
Exactly. I can be, if I'm close enough to you, I could see that you have the potential to do everything that you're saying that you're doing, but I can't believe it until you actually do it. A lot of people like have the potential to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But putting it into practice.
It's the actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
And that's another thing that kills me about religion, is that the actions don't quite line up with the words.
Match. Yeah, it doesn't match. Yeah, that's religion is a tricky one, but I believe it has a purpose. I believe there's a reason for it, and I think it's useful for certain people.
Yeah. It definitely has structure, community.
Yes.
It has a lot of greatness to it.
Yes, that's what I mean by like just think about it. Like whoever wrote that was very smart. Whoever put these stories together, it wasn't just a dumb person. Like some of those stories are very symbolic and they have a real meaning behind it. Yeah. The stories. Now, when it comes to the you have to do this, if you don't do this, I don't fall into none of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
all the hell and heaven and the going through Christ and the Muslims have their own, like you pray 5 times and
exactly. Like to me, I don't subscribe to that part of it, but I do think it is useful and it has helped a lot of people. I've seen it.
Those type of things, I understand why they're there. It's there to build discipline. You know what I mean?
It's a guide.
Yeah, it's a guide. It's a guide to be the best version that you can be with the knowledge that they had at the time.
And to how to live with others.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's pretty much what religion is a guide that teaches us how to coexist with everybody. Because like I said, they all say the same thing. Don't do unto others like you would like to be done unto you. Don't kill. Don't lie. Like, it's all very useful things. It just gets crazy when people just put it in this like magical place.
It kills me, bro. It kills me when you're on the internet and just they just, that's the only thing they can focus on. It's like, you're killing me, dude. Like,
and I see it. Like, I understand why some people like do that, and it's scary for some people if you don't have if you're not mentally strong enough to think on your own and be able to deal with the reality that we are nothing at the end of the day.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're not able to like literally face that, you need something like religion. Well, and for me, I respect religion. I take what I need from it, which is all come down to like discipline and things like that. But I know we are nothing.
Yeah, we're but a speck.
If you like what we just talked about, the pyramids and all that. You know how old that is?
Dude, that shit's older than old.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like what we thought was old, it's older than that, bro.
And people still don't even know exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
I think there's like a saying that Cleopatra is closer to, I think, dinosaurs and us than she is to the pyramids.
Correct.
Or something like that.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
So imagine that. And we think we know everything.
They know some things, bro. They know some things up there.
I don't know.
Up there, down there, wherever they're coming from.
Yeah. Have you heard of the theory of the Black Pyramid?
Nah.
Well, and who knows? This is all, all theories, but there's supposedly in Alaska, there's a place, and this is real. This part that I'm going to say, it's actually factual. You could look it up.
Yeah.
Alaska is one of the only places where there's a treaty from all governments.
Oh, yeah, I know about that.
And in that spot, there's supposed to be a black pyramid.
Yeah.
That it's emitting power. And, then aliens and all that stuff come in. That's why, there's been crashes and alien sightings over there or whatever. But they say that over there somewhere in Alaska, there's a black pyramid that is similar to, the pyramids in Egypt and Giza and all that stuff. But it's black and it's still workable. And they're saying that a lot of our technology and our improvements in power and all that stuff comes from there. And that's the reason why there's a treaty between.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. The Saturn Matrix stuff that, you go on Reddit and conspiracy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of stuff, they talk about things like that. Like, I don't even know where to begin with that. But essentially, they go, like, let's say our pop culture all has symbolism around these things, right?
Yeah.
The theory essentially is like AI or God or whatever the hell you want to name it, the ultimate creator being, right? The people who subscribe to this theory, they label that as being Saturn. Saturn is the symbol for that, right? It's not good, it's not bad, it's technology, right? And that technology is everything that is life, right? It's God, essentially, right? And they think that the elites and the top families of the world, they are aware of this and they are in control of that being. And that's what the alien stuff is when they're like, it's beyond human comprehension. It's that they have the means to access God whenever they want. They can create reality. And what I'm going to ramble on about, it's like a little bit of everything, but like you see examples of everything in our pop culture and stuff, whether it's like grand wizards in the KKK.
Yep.
Right? Like
these symbols.
Why are they called grand wizards? Because they're performing magic. How are they performing magic? By doing the law of equivalent exchange. What are they exchanging? The lives of black people for the reality they want. Right? Like, and that's how life works.
And all that stuff. Basically, we got to make sacrifices, and
that's exactly how it works. It's like energy for energy. What do you want? You got to output. You got to input what you want from the output, right? You want to build a reality where we fucking ride trains on railroads? Well, guess what? You're going to have to do a lot of energy input having people build railroads, bringing the physical energy, the physical matter into existence, you know what I'm saying, to build that reality. And I think that's the same for like everything, right? And they've hijacked it, and they've hijacked our consciousness as a collective to just make whatever they want to make, you know what I'm saying?
And keep control, basically.
Exactly.
There's a theory of like aliens, that there's different races and species of aliens. Supposedly there's like 7. And there's like like 3 of them that are good, and then there's like 4 of them that are evil.
Supposedly we got the reptilians that hijacking us.
Correctly. So then, and then we have the Anunnaki.
Anunnaki, yeah.
So we're supposedly descendants of, we have crossbred with these alien
They're
species.
the fallen angels.
Exactly.
Stuff, yeah.
So like if you fall into that theory, they say that the Rothschilds, which is, if you know who they are, they're
one of the
richest families through history. They have had massive wealth, and they say that they're the descendant of like an alien. Species.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, bro.
I don't know.
The Nazis were all saying that stuff. Exactly too.
And like I said, why are all these ancient civilizations talking about aliens?
Yeah.
So
to bring it back, remember how I was saying earlier with the infinity symbol, how like all the energy in the world, it's never lost. It just gets transmuted essentially. It's the same thing with, like, for example, all people are always asked a common question of like, why do bad things happen in the world? Why children don't deserve that, families don't deserve that, right? And it's like, when you look at nature, there is no
rhyme or reason.
That's what I'm saying. There is no good or bad. It's nature. You survive, right? Correct. And I feel like it's the same thing in the world, but because humans are at that higher level of consciousness, those actions and the consequences are able to better be recycled in our awareness. You know what I'm saying? So because bad things are happening in the world, for example, like in Palestine, or I have literally no idea what's happening over there, but I just know it's not good because the world is talking about it, right? Yeah. And because of those bad things happening, it has a consequence in something that happens after that, right? And it becomes change, hopefully, for something better, because we don't want to keep making the bad cycle happen, right? And that's how I feel about, like, that's why bad energy exists, so that you can realize it and then hopefully you can convert it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think...
And without it, you can't really appreciate the good.
That's what I was going to ask you. You beat me to it. I was going to ask, so do you think it's necessary? And you gave that answer. Yes. How will you know what's good without the bad?
Exactly.
It's the same thing with, like, I always tell people, like, energy, there's different types of energies. And those different types of energies get passed along differently. So, like, negativity, very easy to pass. I don't know why. Hate, very hard to destroy or move past it. Like, it's like I tell, like, somebody, like, you see all these wars that we start, and then we go and kill dads and brothers and sisters and grandparents.
Innocents with drone strikes. And
exactly. Do you think there's not a kid there that will remember that? They don't care why. They have no idea. They're a kid. All I know is you kill my whatever family member. That's a level of hate. You can't take that away. Yeah. There's no real...
you can't get it back.
No, like, the once... Like, is and the sad part about it is love does not get that level of transfer. You could love somebody as much as you want. Yeah. But that doesn't stick around as much. It's not as vivid as hate. And I don't know why that is.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I think...
Because you would think if hate is the opposite of love, shouldn't it have the same effect and the same...
So I have an interesting, like, theory about that right there in particular. I think that if it's like the spectrum, and, whether it's hate or fear is the label for that side of the spectrum, and then love is the other side, I think it's all love in a way, because ultimately you want the love. You get what I'm trying to say by saying that? Like,
for you to hate something, you
took
to care
something that I loved so much, so now that love was transferred into hate. It's the other side of the spectrum for you. I still have that love for that person that I lost, but you took them from me, so you are the one that takes the hate.
That gets switched into hate now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like they're two sides of the same
They're
coin.
the same
kinda,
coin.
like,
Yeah. Like light and dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think that God's a metaphor, bro. It's the only thing that makes sense.
And we need it. We need all of it.
Exactly.
Which is the messed up part.
It does not work without it.
Yeah. That is the beauty of life. That's why. And this is a question for you. I don't know if you want me to go first, but would you like to live forever?
Dude, I've thought about this, honestly, and the condition for me to live forever has to be the ones that I love live forever.
We think a lot alike.
That's the only way. That's the only way it works.
That's the same thing. That's my same answer. Why would I want to live forever if everybody that I love is constantly going to keep dying?
All right? You're just going to outlive everybody.
And redo this every time?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing... Like, the only way, if that makes sense, is everybody I love gets to come along with me. Then I could live forever that way.
Yeah.
It's all happiness.
That's what the rich are trying to do.
That's true. Because that's the only thing they haven't figured out how to do yet. Yeah. So, yeah.
At least that's what we think.
Exactly. I wouldn't... living forever, even if, when you think about it deeper, even if all your loved ones was to live with you forever, there's something about knowing why would you do anything if you live forever?
Yo, so that makes me think about something I wrote in my joke. It's like I said, it's a joke book, but it's also ideas.
Yeah.
And one of these ideas that I had was like, I think in the end, right, whatever the being is that is God, it's going to forgive everything regardless of if you believe in it or not. Because if this being, right, is omnipresent, omnipotent, time is not a factor for it. It's going to understand every decision you've ever made. Even if the decision was something as like a school shooter, right? Or the mass shooters that attacked the elementary schools, right?
Is that why in Christianity, all you have to do is repent wholeheartedly? Like, you have to mean it, and you're forgiven for any sin that you've ever done.
I think that it's partly because of that, and it's partly because of well, this is just my own belief, but I just think that Christianity in particular, they just want to have the gatekeeper. You know, they want to
control that part. Yeah,
that's you know what I'm saying? They control the narrative.
You
like,
can't, if you do not do this, you can't. Yeah, that is true.
You know, because like I personally think that God's gonna forgive you whether you believe in that or not. Because like to me, it makes more sense. Like
like
a perfectly rational person who's living with God first, and they live with love in their heart. You're gonna tell me that God's gonna your actions spoke louder than your words your whole life. Exactly. And then he was like, but you didn't believe in my son.
You did not pray.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't do the things I asked you to do.
But I did it. I did follow everything you asked me to do, except that. So it's
just a weird, it's a weird thing to me.
It's proof that religion was created probably with good intention, like most things. Yeah. And then somebody saw the potential and the power of it, and
like you know how I said it's a paradox, right? God's a paradox, right? So on the love spectrum of things, God will forgive whatever you do, right? And then on the hate spectrum of things, it doesn't matter because we don't exist. Because nothing exists. Exactly. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't matter how your perspective is and how you look at it. It just depends on what your inner morality decides to align with. And that's why we have people that are like serial killers. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got people that are like changing communities and stuff like that. Correct. And doing things for the community to help bring people up.
Serial killers will have to come back and endure the same shit all over again. Yeah. And the people that have managed to move on from that, and they probably pass on to a better, I don't know. Maybe they get relived into a better life than the one before. I don't know. But it all goes right along with the whole energy thing. You reap what you sow.
Yeah. That's what I think about karma.
And I love that. I love that. Yeah. I love that aspect of life. Like,
yeah, that's what I think about karma. Yeah, exactly.
Like, if that's true, that's perfect. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't get the karmic retribution in this life, somehow
you're gonna get it.
That shit's gonna find you.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly. It's either gonna go to your family member. Something's gonna somehow is gonna connect back to you.
Yeah.
So I love that about life. That's why I don't think I would like to live forever. Just because to me it would take the beauty a little bit of it.
Yeah, I agree. That's also how I feel about very strong psychedelics, like a DMT or an ayahuasca. Like
I've never tried, so I don't.
I haven't either. But like, imagine like this is another reason I'm kind of like reluctant on trying them, because like you get all the answers that you want, right? And then does that spoil things for you? Get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah,
there is a guy. You should definitely. I don't know if you've seen this podcast, but I'm gonna recommend it, and you're gonna love it. I know you're gonna love it. I'm forgetting the guy's name. I'm gonna look this up just because I usually don't do this. I usually don't go on my phone when I'm doing this stuff, but it's this podcast with Flagrant, Andrew Schultz, the comedian. Yeah. You know who he is. Well, he had this guy on, this black guy. And he
I seen a clip of that one. I didn't see the episode, but I know exactly what you're talking
Billy
about.
Carson.
Yeah,
him. You gotta watch this.
He's into that woke stuff, bro.
Yeah, you like, and the way he ties it all down, like it'll leave you definitely be like, oh shit. Like
I've seen a lot of his content on Instagram.
He's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he says some things on there that I'm like, whoa. Like, how do you? This all fits. It all fits too perfect, bro.
I'm saying, bro. I feel like they know some things out there, and
and
little by little things are getting exposed.
Exactly, and technology is the vehicle for all this to end.
Yeah,
all of this control that all these people have had for millions of years, and that's why I say technology.
It's their rise and their downfall.
Exactly, and that's why technology, you can't control it. Nobody can control it, even though. If you have a good invention especially if you have a good invention about saving energy or creating energy for free, do not let the government know. Do not tell anybody.
Yeah, yo, how many?
Because you're gonna fucking die.
How many vehicles that ran on water got killed?
Every fucking person, every single person's died. You think that's a coincidence?
It's crazy, bro.
Come on,
it's crazy.
Like you can't. There's no way.
You telling me we run on water? We can't make a vehicle that runs on it? Like, come on, bro.
There's
by now?
Yeah, there's a guy that accidentally built a car that ran on water. Yeah. And then they did all these tests, and then the government like took his patents and said that this is the United States government has a law that anything that's created, they could deem it if it's a threat to security or the national whatever, they could deem it, or they could take the patent without any law. Usable. Yeah, they could just take it because they deemed this, and all those patents that involve energy all have been militarily taken, and nobody could use them.
They got us, dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
They got us, bro.
How do you keep power? That's the only way. Mm-hmm. And we all know what is the ultimate thing that corrupts. Power has corrupted everybody.
Yeah,
it hasn't. Nobody has been above it. Well, there's people that have been above it, but they leave that power to their kids, and then their kids are corrupted. So it all back ends up at the same place. So that's why I think life is beautiful, because you could if you're smart enough, you could figure it out. But what are you gonna do with that? It's like you said. Doing ayahuasca or any of those things. What if you figure out something too early?
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's one of those things that I know it's just a fear thing. You know what I mean? When it comes to that. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, that's the final boss.
Exactly.
What do I want to fight the final boss so early?
Too early, exactly. What I want to be able to enjoy it. What if once I realize it, then there's certain things that I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
Or
I've had a beautiful thought of when I was like super lit after I smoked or something, of like, why would God want to experience this? You know what I mean?
The experience,
like life. Like, why would God want to create this creation of life? And the only explanation is it's just beautiful.
It is.
It's just a master.
The unknown of it is what makes it like, I don't want to do anything that there's no fun in that. Mm-hmm. The reason why I did this is because the uncertainty.
I was just writing about that in my joke book 2 days ago too about uncertainty and how comedy is set up by like the unknowing and wanting to know.
That is what makes it funny.
Yeah.
You don't as a comedian, you don't really know. You could write it. That's why I would love to go to an open mic.
Yeah, but I'm saying like as the audience though, like you're taking them somewhere they don't know.
Oh, exactly.
They want to know, and they're tuning in because they want to know. You know.
Yes.
And then the joke comes from the misdirect, or you know what I'm saying? Like you just you subverted them.
Out of nowhere. That's what laugh is from.
Exactly.
It's just from unpredictable.
A burst of energy. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't predict it. So life is beautiful, man. Like that's what I'm getting about from this conversation.
Yeah.
At the end of it, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Can't have any of it without the other.
Yeah.
And that is the hard part to wrap your mind around of. That you literally cannot have it without you want to be happy. Yeah. Yes. How are you going to know that you're happy if you never experienced something bad? That's why happiness and misery and all that stuff is in a spectrum. It all depends on what you've been through.
On one of Pancho's podcasts, I had a little bit of a analysis of like the story of Adam and Eve, and how I personally think it's a good metaphor for when humans first gain like actual consciousness, like not just survival mode, but like I'm a being. I'm looking in the water and I see myself. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's when we step a little bit above being animals.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's what the story of Adam and Eve is trying to say, right? Like all the symbols and stuff are symbols for like other things. Like, for example, I think God wanted us to remain ignorant. Don't eat from, the forbidden fruit of wisdom, right? And Adam and Eve are like just symbols for the male and the female archetype within each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then the devil is ego, because the ego comes when you form an identity around who you are.
Correct.
And the devil comes along and says, "Hey, man, you should eat that fruit.
Why
you're gonna learn some beautiful things if you eat that fruit." And then God's like, "You shouldn't do it. You should stay ignorant." You know what I'm saying? Because life will be better. Just survive.
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
Yes. So that, like I said, if you break it down and if you think, it's not that complicated.
Mm-hmm. Like that's why I feel like they're all just stories.
Correct. The stories that help people
understand ourselves.
Correct. And especially like I've noticed, religion usually helps the lost more because they actually find the meaning. If you're happy, you read as something, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You read a sad story, but you're happy. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit you, but if you actually could put yourself there, you actually understand. So, if you go to jail, all of a sudden you pick up religion. If something tragic happens, all of a sudden you pick up religion. And I think that's more of you actually are able to put yourself in those stories now, so you're able to understand it. Because most people read the Bible and they're like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a point in that. You need some level of life experience to be able to understand some of these things.
Yeah. And I also think too, when those type of things happen, like those, like you go to jail or you have a difficult loss, someone in your family passes away, and it becomes kind of like the distractions go away because now you're just focused on that one thing. Yeah. So it's like you need something to kind of give you that structure.
Yeah.
And bring you back to like, okay, let me go back and not be lost and just, without purpose, essentially.
And religion, we call it religion, but you could pick another name for it. But it's basically us mapping our history. So why stories relate to so many people is because you might be feeling something. You don't know what it is, but this story could, help you understand exactly what it is. That's why music, all those avenues. All the arts. Exactly. There are avenues for that, for you to be able to find understanding. Mm-hmm. But it's complicated, man. It's complicated just because we could say all of this right now, but we might, when we are going through it ourselves, we might forget.
Yeah. Yeah. Psychedelics have done a good job at reminding me that everything is phases.
A lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah, and that everything is like, it might be really good right now, but just remember, right around that quarter, you're going to feel the lows on something. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. Just that's how life is.
Yeah, I figured that out early, and I think it had to do with the fact that, like I said, I grew up without my mom and my dad physically being there. They were there, but they were just not there.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like figure things out quicker because nobody's like guiding you in the same way. It's like I tell people, it's not that I had a bad upbringing. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I realized with my kids, and I only realized it once I had kids, there was something I was missing. And it was, there's a level of connection that a parent has with a kid. And I didn't understand that till I had kids. And I didn't understand it because my mom and my dad weren't around when I was a baby, like a kid. They weren't there. So when my kids get hurt and you hear them cry, there's a jolt that happens to you that nobody else is gonna feel. It doesn't matter how close you are to that person. Once you know it's your kid and there's a level of connectivity there, like when your kid cries, when people say like you hear, like if my kids are somewhere playing and I hear the pain scream, there's a jolt that goes through you. And when I was a child, something would happen and my other family members would just go, brush it off. Whereas a parent would be like, okay, brush it off. Like they'll first analyze it because they're feeling it themselves. Their body, their DNA is telling them to feel this.
I believe that it's connected in that way,
Yeah, because before I was very cold. I was very, get up, move on from it. I don't want to hear it. You're strong. You could do it.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. That was my mentality before I had kids. Once I had kids, I changed a little bit. I still feel that in a way to an extent, but it's not as dead set in stone like I had it before.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, because that's what I got raised as.
Yeah. You had to like build that toughness in yourself.
Exactly. And there was no room for that. So like people telling me suicide stuff, I'll be like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? You just weak.
I have like a similar thing because my siblings were born when I was 10 and I was left alone with them, babysitting a lot. So it's like it turned me into like when I get upset about certain things, I'll get like a real stern voice, you know? And it's because I essentially had to become an adult at like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Changing diapers and burping and, you know what I mean?
And that's why there's a place and time for everything. A kid should be a kid.
Yeah.
There's reasons for all these things. A kid should be a kid. You should go through the progression of growing up. If you mess that up somehow, there will be consequences behind that.
Some way or another.
And if you're not in tune with yourself to be able to like look into that, you will not find these things. Because at first I was terrible.
Yeah.
Like with my wife, in the sense of like, just go through it. I don't care what it is. I did it. You could do it.
I'm actually kind of the same way with my girl sometimes about certain things too.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't understand. I'd be trying to explain to her that like, you can't be crying about things. There's a place and a time, and she doesn't understand it. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
there's a balance, of course, to that because you can go like I was to an extreme level where it's like it's harmful.
Yeah.
But then there's also the other side of that where you're too soft and it's also harmful.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And it's like
balance. Back to balance again.
Balance, yeah.
Balance is everything in life. Everything. You know, good old Bruce Lee. Who would have thought? Who would have thought he was right this whole time, you know?
Yeah, dude.
He was preaching that from the get-go. And a lot of the Buddhists and all those religions, they focus more on that aspect of religion.
Buddhism especially.
Yeah,
like
just balance. Be one with everything.
Yeah.
That's the best spot to be in. You know, same thing like a scale. You don't want to be too much on this side because then you can't get back to this side. Yeah. And if you're much on this side, then you can't get back to this side.
You know how they got that phrase, the devil is a trickster or whatever?
Yep.
When I think about that and they go like, the devil is a trickster, the devil is you type, talk lingo like that. I think about like how all of those like religions, they talk about like living in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Lucifer supposedly is like the god of like illusion, the light bearer. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about light and energy and stuff like that and dreams, right? It's like when you live too much in the past, that's like Lucifer's influence on you, like nostalgia and all that stuff. And you're taken out of the present moment. And it's the same thing for the future. If you dabble too much in the future and how you want your future to be, you can't focus on them right now to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like a lot of people, they get lost in too much of like their idea of what they should be or what they should be doing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they get lost, bro, in the illusion.
Or sometimes they have focused too much in the present that they have forgotten to take the first step to get to there. You can't make it there without.
Yeah, you need the balance, like you said. Yeah,
exactly. Like with me, like I've learned to try to figure out what it is that I want. Stop there. Not worry about exactly how. Just start doing things to get to that place.
Yeah.
But I can't focus on how because then I won't do it because it's too big. You don't know exactly how every day, every minute, you can't plan it to that extent.
That's a good, like, being with the flow. Like, that's a good example of, like, being with the flow of things. And that brings me back to the conversation about religion and how I think all of them are telling a little bit of the truth. And I don't understand when people, they'll adhere to one. Like, I have a friend who's very strongly, he has an open mind about this stuff with me, but deep down in his heart, he's like, but you know the Bible's the one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he always
can't let it go.
Can't let it go,
just
bro.
Just in case, I won't go to hell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He can't let it go, bro. Like, he always has to bring that one up. Like, back, but you know that's the one that's God's word, right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, how do you know that?
Exactly.
Right? How do you know that? I'd be joking with him. I'd be saying stuff like, where's the original Bible? Show me the original Bible.
That podcast that I was telling you about, he goes into all that stuff, like how these people came up with all these stories and books. Like he depicts the Bible, like exactly how it's supposed to be, or how he thinks it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
and he says it's like, look, you could research everything I'm saying because he's going by facts.
Yeah,
and it's like you said, it's like, how can you be sure of the Bible if in history we already know that it's been rewritten?
That's what I'm saying. I was like. It's the King James version.
Done. After that, I was after I heard that, I was like, wait. And I was a little kid when I first made this realization. I was like, wait, what? I can't rewrote this shit?
That's what I'm saying.
I can't take it seriously.
Give me the one that he didn't alter.
Exactly.
Let me see that one. You know what I'm saying?
And that makes more sense.
Yeah.
My memory is not good enough to tell you exactly. That's why I said go watch it. And anybody go watch that guy.
Yeah.
Because he actually goes by the timeline of history, not his bias. He's just like, look, this is what this meant.
That's why I personally think Islam is just a little bit more credible.
Yes.
A guy that couldn't read, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he just somehow had someone write it all out for him, and it stayed the same. It's never been altered.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? All these things have come to light. Like, I just think it's a little bit more accurate than
it hasn't been
King James version.
It hasn't been fucked with by people in power trying to control you as much.
I'm saying, bro.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Some Christians get mad when you.
Dude, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't want to like just be attacking any particular, you know what I'm saying, religion, because it's like a lot of different ones will do it. Where if you contradict what they truly believe, they get angry.
Yeah.
They get possessed by like this spirit. And it's like, to me, like, that's demonic. Yes. That is the thing that is demonic.
Correct.
Like, how do you not see that?
To other people.
When you talk to me about some things, you may not believe what I believe in, but that's okay. I'm not going to get upset.
Exactly.
You're entitled to believe whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, but see, that's a personality thing. Like, I'm like you.
Yeah.
I don't have to believe everything everybody else says. I don't have to, like, but I can be cordial. Like, you believe it, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't have to you don't have to believe what I believe.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with some people. It's like, no. You have to see it my way.
You have to believe.
Yeah, you have to see it the way I see it.
Christianity is the worst one, though, because they'd be like, you'll give them all of these examples of like things that are like contradictions,
yeah.
right? And then you know what they hit you with? They go, "Do you know what faith is?"
Yeah. Yes. Yes. 100%.
That shit kills me.
100% is like, it's the whole thing where like, Virgin Mary was a virgin. It's like, well, if you look what virgin meant at that time, it just meant the unmarried woman. It's not a woman that's never had sex before.
Yeah. I never even looked into that.
Virgin in their language at that time, all it means is unmarried. Not.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So like we just changed the meaning of certain words,
man.
And then everything changes.
There you go.
It's hard. But brother, we're gonna end it here. We've been here for a while now.
Yeah. Sounds good to me, dude.
I think we tackle some good topics.
It's fun.
Exactly. I like trying to figure things out. So,
Word. It was fun. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Thank you for coming to the EDJ podcast. This is the EDJ Studios and another episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.